שעבוד לגאולה, השלב הגל הזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן.
Yeah. And then I just dropped the phone. Don't worry, the video. They can still see me recording. Yep. Okay. Evening, everybody. So yesterday we started looking at Sefer Tehillim, saying a lot of Tehillim during this period, so it's worthwhile understanding what we're saying. And as we explained yesterday, the idea is, I think that if we can connect to the words, to the emotions that are being expressed throughout these Mizmorim, that essentially is the true power of Tehillim, to read, to feel the words, to feel what's being expressed, and to use that as an avenue, as a channel to a greater level of prayer, of tefillah. So, looking at Tehillim Kuf Kaf Aleph, Mizmor which we just said, Shiur Lama Alot, Esainai Le'alim Ma'ayin Yavo Ezli. What we mentioned yesterday, what's remarkable about this Mizmor, which is highly unusual, there's actually a dialogue that takes place. There are two different speakers. The first two, the beginning of the parak is in the first person. I am asking, where will my help come from? I am in distress. All of a sudden, then it says, Alitein lamot raglecha, alionum shomrecha, as in somebody else is coming and giving comfort, reassurance. The one pasuk which is not clear, Hinei lo yanum v'lo yishan shomer Israel. Who's saying that? Is that the first person, or is that a continuation of the second person? Not immediately clear. But then the rest of the Mizmor continues. It's in the third person again. It's talking to Hashem Shomrecha, Hashem Tzilcha, Al Yad Yaminecha, Hashem Shlakeka, etc. So the first thing again we mentioned yesterday, what's mysterious about this parak, clearly this is talking about a time of distress. Something right, Ma'ayin Yavo Ezri, where will my help come from? There is a feeling of hopelessness. There is a feeling of despair. What is causing it? We don't know. There are Mizmorim that refer to a national feeling of hopelessness, maybe. Al Narot Bavel. There are Mizmorim which talk about war on a national level. Here, it seems to be deeply personal. Now, again, that personal tragedy could be the result of something national, but the focus here seems to be on something personal. And again, so I look up at the mountains. Where is my help going to come from? What are the mountains doing here? What do the mountains have to do with anything? So there are those who understand all of this. We mentioned the Radak yesterday. All of these Shir HaMalot referring to the Galut and to the Geulah, maybe Ha'arim referring to Harei Yerushalayim. That is one original interpretation that is given. But there are those who say, maybe Esaina Harim, I'm looking up to the mountains, and maybe from the mountains, from what I can see, that is where assistance is going to come from. Salvation is going to come from over the mountaintops. That's one reading. It could be another reading, which is completely the opposite. I'll go with this suggestion, which is Rav Hanan Samet has a couple of volumes of the Ionim and Pirkei Tehillim. He suggests something along these lines. He says, it's looking up at the mountains that causes the question. The person looks up, I see above, the mountains represent as far as I can see, as far as the eye can take me. That's which is known, that's which is certain. What is over the mountaintops? What's waiting behind on the other side? I have no idea. So if a person is about to embark on a journey, a person is about to go, and you look around, you look as far as you can see. Beyond the horizon, I don't know what's waiting on the other side, right? And that is what gives rise to the question, Ma'ayin Yavo Ezri. In other words, he suggests that maybe this whole Mizmor, we can understand it almost as a form of Tfilat HaDerech. The truth is, if you look at what's being expressed and the specific examples that are given, see as much as we have time to get through, it makes a lot of sense that this is referring to somebody who's going on a journey, somebody's embarking on a journey. They don't know what's going to be. Now, it's hard for us to connect. We think of Tfilat HaDerech. Okay, you go and get into the car, you go on a plane, you say Tfilat HaDerech because however many minutes, however far you're going, it's almost a technicality. But not that long ago, right? Tfilat HaDerech, a person goes out on a journey. Nowadays, we travel halfway across the world with ease. A person goes out on a journey, they don't know how long it's going to take. They don't know if they'll ever get there. They don't know if they'll ever come back. It says something, it represents that which is completely unknown. There are dangers on the journey, there are risks, it's completely unpredictable. So we might say, even if nowadays, and ordinary, mundane journey on the road, even that, you never know how it's going to end. But maybe it's not something we think of as a sense of uncertainty, but we could expand it. We could say that derech, in terms of the journey of life, the journey into the unknown, the journey into the uncertain, that is what's being expressed. The person says, I'm going out, embarking on the unknown. What's going to happen? Going above, beyond the horizons. I am nervous, I'm scared, I'm desperate. Continue the next pasuk. Already interestingly, again, this is still the first person speaking, but there's a switch. You went from complete and utter hopelessness, desperation, and to Hashem. Already confidence. Where did that come from? How did that happen? Maybe there's an idea here. Maybe that this is the emunah, which a person has been trained in already for many years, and it's something which is there, which is deep down, and there's an association. The moment a person says "Ma'ayin yavo Ezri," so that word related to Ezri Mim Hashem, we'll find a number of different places that creates that connection, that awakens that understanding, that internal recognition. That comes from Hashem, and Hashem is the one who will keep me safe. Notice again at this point, it doesn't say it's not anything personal. It is a universal description of Hashem. Ezri Mim Hashem Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz, the one who created heaven and earth. So is that a higher level of emunah or a lower level of emunah? We'll see as we go along. This is, Rav Samad suggests, maybe this is part of the dialogue and part of the conflict that takes place in the within the Mizmor. So now we get to that. Those are the first two psukim. There is the original person saying, I feel a sense of despair. I feel a sense of unknown. Okay, Ezri Mim Hashem, a little bit more confident. And now comes complete confidence coming from the other person who's speaking. Second person enters the conversation. Says, Al yiten lamot raglecha, al yanum shomrecha. Again, this could be encouragement to the person, or maybe it's a tefillah. It's almost as if there's an implicit yiratzon, right? Yiratzon that Hashem said, Hashem shamayim va'aretz, al yiten lamot raglecha, al yanum shomrecha. Hashem should protect you, shouldn't let your feet falter, shouldn't your guardian will not sleep. Right? These two ideas are very much related to the idea of the journey. Somebody who's going on the journey and doesn't know where he's going to go. We see this by Yaakov's journey. What are the things that one could be afraid of? Firstly, in terms of the realm of space, physically, maybe my feet won't last. Maybe I won't be able to continue. Maybe I'll just get stuck. I won't be able to carry on. And that's one fear. So he says, another fear which is not related to place, but is related to time. Person's going on a journey. You can't keep walking all day and all night. You have to rest. You have to stop. Where are you going to rest? Where are you going to? Are you going to have shelter? Are you going to have protection at night time, which is there's a lot of danger. So he says, Al yanum shomrecha. You can see he's not going to sleep. He's going to protect you throughout the journey in space. He's going to protect you throughout the journey in time as well. Comes back the answer to that. So who is saying that pasuk? Pasuk Daled. Is that, are we going back to the original speaker, or is this a continuation of the second speaker? So it makes sense to say this is now the original speaker coming back, and he's now coming and he's confirming that which the second person has said. The word hinei, mentioned yesterday. Here it is. Behold, achen. This is the case. You're right. Lo yanum v'lo yishan shomer Yisrael. Now there's a difference. There's a subtle difference, but in terms of the way the first person, the first speaker, relates to Hashem, as opposed to the way the second one does. We said before. He said Hashem was called Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz, the one who made heaven and earth. Now he's called Shomer Yisrael, the guardian of all of Israel. Again, it's very general. It's very universal. On the one hand, you may say that represents an understanding that Hashem is the guardian of everything and of everybody. On the other hand, the person who comes back and talks, he says, Ali telamot raglecha al yanum shomrecha. He doesn't call him Shomer Israel, but he calls him Shomrecha, your guardian, the one who's going to protect you. And we carry on the second half of the Mizmor. This continues throughout. Meaning at this point, first person has expressed his hope, his hopelessness. The second person has expressed his confidence, his encouragement. The first speaker comes back and he says, I accept your encouragement. I'm confident. That's correct. You're right. Okay, it could end there. But now we have another whole half of the Mizmor to go. What is the saying doing, and what's it saying? This is again the second speaker coming back, and he says, Hashem shomrecha, Hashem tzilcha al yad yaminecha, Yomam Hashem shlo yakeka, v'ach balayla, Hashem yishmorcha mikol ra, yishmor et nafshecha, Hashem yishmor tzedcha uvoecha me'ata ve'ad olam. 4 psukim, and what is repeated again and again and again? It's Hashem shomrecha, Hashem tzilcha. It's yours personally. Maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the message that's being expressed. That person number 1 says, okay, I accept your encouragement. I accept your chizuk, maybe on a theoretical level. It's something, it's still far removed. It's still Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz. It's still Shomer Yisrael. Yes, there's a God out there. He protects Am Yisrael in an abstract sense. And the person comes back and he says, no, this is not abstract. This is not theory. This is me. This is you. This is right here, right now. Hashem Shomrecha, Hashem Tzilcha al yad yaminecha. It's deeply personal. It's a personal connection that he has with you. That's, again, we mentioned yesterday, it's maybe that this idea is expressed in 2 ways. These are the 2 changes from the beginning, from the first 2 psukim of the Mizmor throughout the rest. The first is it begins talking about Ezri, right? Hashem is my Ozer. Hashem can help me. However, he says, no, Hashem is not Ozer. He is Shomrecha. He's a Shomer. He is guarding you. It's all-encompassing. It's complete. More than that, it's not theoretical. It's not just Hashem is out there and he guards people. He guards that. He guards you. He guards me. So we have really, I think, expressed within this Mizmor, we go from there is a distress, there is a worry, there's a concern about the unknown. We express that longing, that uncertainty, and we get that encouragement to say that yes, this is something going from theory into practice, finding a way to turn that bitachon into something real, to something deep, and into something that is deeply personal. Rabbi Chananya ben Akasha Amar, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Zakot Yisrael, V'Tenoch B'Alem Torah Mitzvot, Shnei Adonai Chavetz Man Tzidko Yagdir Torah